Good morning, darlings. 8 o'clock, what day? Thursday. Dr. Lucy here. We are talking this week. We're doing all emotional eating, mindset, that sort of thing. I'm still in my dressing gown. I know, I feel a bit sneaky coming in my dressing gown, but anyway, whatevs. I've brushed my hair, I've had a shower, I'm ready, and somewhere around I've got a lovely black cup of coffee. Morning, Jane. Morning, Heather. How are you, lovelies? So this morning, part 4 of the emotional eating bandwagon. I cannot say the message is enough because, again, we have been programmed for other messages. So it takes time to unlearn. First of all, unlearn and then relearn. But today what I'm going to talk to you about is busyness. Busyness and fatigue are two of the biggest things that can trigger emotional eating. Good morning, Maureen. And so what it means, the way I look at it is there's often two things going on. So the first thing, we have to be mindful of tiredness. So when we're tired, we actually have a hormonal response to be hungry. There is a hormone called ghrelin. It's our hunger hormone. And ghrelin is increased when we're tired. So it's not just that you're thinking you're a bit hungrier. You actually are. So what I always say to people is there are things that you need to do. If you're tired, obviously the best thing to do is sleep. Recognizing, of course, that there are times where you can't. You know, if you've got a young baby, if you've got a new puppy, if your car broke down and you didn't get home till 2 a.m., Dr. Mary, then there are days where you are then going to be tired the next day. Be mindful of that and recognize that you may be a little more hungry on those days. And that's okay. What you need to do, though, is just be, I guess, aware, and then make sure that you are allowing yourself, okay? Because again, we're not about restriction here. You have to really be in tune with what you're doing. But if you're tired, you will be more hungry, and it is okay to eat a little more food, okay? You don't have to always be denying your body food. The key, though, is to choose well. You know, because again, when we're tired, that's when we are more likely to go for the biscuits or the chocolate or the chips. So 2 things. 1, choose well, protein and fat. 2, make sure you get your sleep. Now, I think yesterday I wrote a post about, you know, humans are the only species to voluntarily restrict our sleep, and this is completely true. We sit up watching telly, reading books, playing on our phone, whatever, and not giving our bodies the amount of sleep that it needs. And the fascinating thing at the moment, and I'm going through this too, is menopause. Close your eyes, guys, if anyone's listening. No, you don't really have to, but it's not going to apply to you. Menopause is the great sleep disruptor for women. It is, it's not just that women have hot flushes, they have night sweats, but they actually don't sleep as deeply. And the thing is that we just do this thing where we go, oh, well, it's menopause, and you kind of suffer in silence, or it's the collective suffering that goes along. And I'm going to tell you, we don't need to do this. There are lots of treatments, and they range from, you know, herbal treatments, food-related things, and right up to, you know, HRT. HRT has been, first of all, lauded as the great wonder and then demonized as the great, you know, killer. It actually is somewhere in between. And women, if your quality of life is impaired because of your menopausal symptoms, it's not just your quality of life, it's your whole metabolic process. Your sleep's going to be rubbish. That has all those flow-on effects. Please get some help for it. It is okay. You don't need to be thinking there's no options for me. I don't want to go on HRT. Find out about it, because HRT, you don't have to do it forever. Now, I know this is a little out of my normal scope that I would be banging on about, which is really about weight loss. But what I see is women who aren't sleeping. I think one lady wrote on the post that she hasn't slept properly for 10 years. Think about what that is going to do to your metabolic hormones if you are not sleeping properly. Okay, it's the same with getting up to go to the toilet. Again, that's beyond the scope here, but it is not normal and not necessary for us to get up every 2 hours overnight. So if that's happening, do something, okay? We can do something about it. Go and see your GP. Go and see a pelvic floor physio. Find out, why is your body waking you up every 2 hours? Are you just waking up and therefore you go, oh, well, I'm awake now, I'll go. And then that becomes this habit. There's a whole heap of things. But to bring it back to the topic at hand, sleep, my loves. Sleep is important. Sleep yourself thin is one of our catch cries because it is the foundation. We need to get the foundations right before we do the tweaking up the top. Okay, a lot of people get all focused on very small things like maybe dairy is going to make me fat, but they're only getting 6 hours a night sleep. I can tell you that foundations are way more important. All right, beautiful ones, I better go get dressed and sort of chop my head off today looking at this. I'll see you tomorrow for the last episode of what am I calling this? Oh, just out, I used to call it keto in the car, but I'm constantly not in the car. I used to call it keto in the craft room, but I've turned my craft room into an office. So now I just call it the 8 a.m. lives. We will see you tomorrow for that. If you've got any questions, if you've got any topics that you would love us to discuss in these 8 a.m. lives, they're only 5 minutes. So it's just, I'm not going to do a super deep dive, but certainly we can answer questions. Not individualized medical advice, you know that, but that's okay. But general things just to keep us moving in the direction we want to go. Bye, darlings. Have a wonderful day.